Set life goals this way to guarantee success and happiness. Long before I ever got my hands all around success and happiness, I was unaware what it really took to be the success I so hoped for. I therefore determined to do anything legitimately possible to seek and become the success I so desired. I observed that one of the key steps to ensuring that success does not elude is setting goals. Setting attainable goals is not only a step towards success and happiness, but also an achievement in itself. Setting realistic goals always has the effect of sharpening focus. It keeps you motivated and gives foresight. Nonetheless, coming up with such goals is not always easy. By patience and practice, I have been able to master setting life's goals that assure happiness and success for life. While setting goals is one thing, working them and applying them to the latter is another thing. Living a life without goals and having a hope for happiness and success is fighting the wind with bare arms. There's literally no guarantee of hitting the jackpot of success and happiness. I have discovered that clearly outlining life goals for myself and working toward them has the capacity also to propagate my well-being. This is probably because happiness and accomplishment are intertwined in a sense of hope, purpose, and meaning in life. Now, there are many types of goals in very broad categories. These goals are not all equal because they all produce different results. However, for me to be sure of success and happiness, my goals always fall into one of three ranks. That is, number 1, performance goals. These are goals I normally set in order to complete a particular task. Such tasks are usually measurable but unconnected. Such goals have helped me satisfy my basic psychological desires in short periods of time. For instance, I set a goal on establishing social connections and physical health. I gathered that performance goals are good for on-the-go tasks. Performance goals are usually left behind once a task has been completed. In fact, I observed that most goals I set are actually performance goals. They are set to help me accomplish measurable and disjointed tasks. Such goals have always rewarded me with success and happiness in the moment. There are lots of examples of performance goals. Setting a target to run a mile for the first time stands out as one such example. A bid to increase one's sales by a certain percentage is yet another of such goals. Number 2, stretch goals. Ever heard of the conversational SMART goals? Well, the letters spelling the word SMART is an acronym for the structure that goals are supposed to take. This means that goals are to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Stretch goals are an enhancement of the SMART approach. An amazing and satisfying fact about such goals is that even when I do not hit the target, I find myself in a much better position than was before. I am stretched beyond some limit. While I'm a strong advocate of the SMART approach, oftentimes I've had to stretch myself when writing my goals in order to hit significant success and happiness. I set goals that will make me reach out beyond the acceptable. I love the SMART approach and can testify that they are indeed smart. However, I feel the approach has limitations when it comes to aiming higher and doing something that has probably never been done before. The approach also has the disadvantage of totally avoiding risk. Risks are very healthy if you want to live outside the box. I remember when I decided it was time to hit a record high and how much income I earned. I really had to stretch myself so that I could attain this target within the bounds of time. In my effort to take my performance to a whole new level, I needed unrealistic goals. Stretch goals always have to be set outside the acceptable. For real happiness and success, a goal has to be big and audacious. It always has to defy the norms. Number 3, habitual goals. Imagine a set of goals that build your character, goals that help you put in place a whole new set of practices and manners for sure success. Such goals are assets that pay off now, and in the future they become engrafted in daily mannerisms and become typical of the planner. In my daily practices, I have developed habitual goals. They have become automatic and routine in my quest for contentment and success. Habitual goals have helped me define a work culture that guarantees success and happiness. The way to complete a set of tasks with excellence is a product of habitual goals. I remember when I decided to develop a culture of waking up before the first light for some quality time of devotion. After a few times of struggle developing this habit, I noticed how it just became a part of me to the point that now I'm able to do it unconsciously. Habitual habits are customary. For example, I have time for breakfast, devotion, yoga, reading, and other activities in their place. I cannot do any of these activities outside their place and time because the routine has formed within me. I have witnessed how this routine and discipline has been so rewarding besides being clearly gratifying in the future outlook. Now here is exactly how I set these goals and categorize them as above. I take a moment, relax, close my eyes, and picture my life in the future. I visualize my goals. By doing so, I give them life and enhance their color. Then I focus on the sentiment stimulated in me by the best conceivable life. This exercise always helps me to think about ways in which accomplishing my set goals may become difficult for me in the future. I consider the financials, societal barriers, and so forth that may hinder an accomplishment. Setting goals that guarantee happiness and success has helped me sharpen the sense of control I have over life, and it has brought clarity to what I need to do to live my dream. Set goals have the capacity to form a life and generate desires beyond a current reality. They will become hard to reach in certain instances. Nonetheless, holding on to them is a sure way to success and happiness. Goals are the cells that build up to happiness and success. You can't afford to lose sight of goals. They are achievable.